This is my very first YouTube video and I'm a little nervous because I have no idea what I'm like supposed to be doing. Anyways. My name is Dodo, and you may recognize me from TikTok or Instagram as Dodo the Book Bitch. I've been making book content on there for like a little bit over a year, almost 2 years, and I loved it so much I was like, maybe I should try YouTube. It's a little intimidating to like move to a new platform and try a new video like format because I've been so used to doing short form style videos on TikTok that like doing a longer video is a little like a little nerve-wracking, but we're gonna try and do our best and have fun because that's what we're here to do. I thought what better way to introduce myself to the like booktube community than to show you my book collection, put them on my brand new shelves that I just got, and we'll just talk about all my favorite books. And I don't know if you can tell, I'm a romance reader, so most, if not all of these books are romance books. Let's get into it. Let's start with contemporary romance books that are traditionally published because I had to separate them because there were so many. I have this series by Olivia Dade, spoiler alert, and then you have All the Feels, and I have Shipwrecked, and this was like a pre-order special edition like dust jacket, so it does have the original cover underneath, and I just have that special edition dust jacket over it. And I'm in love with it. I have the Illumicrate / Afterlight special editions of the Kiss Quotient series, which I literally love so much. We have the Kiss Quotient, and like, look at that. Oh my God. The Bride Test. Again, like the sprayed edges, and the Heart Principle, showing you the back, and then the edges. Literally love this series so much, like it's one of my favorites, and I was so happy to be able to get the special edition copies, and I told myself that if I sold my original paperbacks that I could justify buying the special editions, and I did sell them before they went on sale, so yay! I have American Royalty, and I have the second book literally coming in the mail. I'm so excited to continue on with this couple. Digging Up Love. I have 2 books by Andy J. Christopher. We have Thank You Next, and then Hot Under His Collar, because I can't help but like want to read all the priest books that are out there. LOL. Love Lists and Fancy Ships. A Proposal They Can't Refuse, which is so unbelievably good. I cannot wait to read more from this author. The Comeback. A Certain Appeal. I have The Ex Talk. This was like one of my very first adult romance books I ever read. Fight or Flight, which is like really good enemies to lovers. I literally ate this book up. Partners in Crime. Love Con. Archer's Voice, which is like very, very popular. I have Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I just want to give this book like a big ol' hug. We have Red, White, and Royal Blue. Have you guys seen the trailer to that new movie? I'm so freaking excited. What you gonna do? Pictured in my Emily Henry collection is Beach Read, my favorite one, but we do have People We Meet on Vacation and Book Lovers. I have Hang the Moon, and by the way, I read the first book in this series but borrowed it from a friend. Really like this series. So by the same author, The Fiancé Farce, which I have not read yet, but come on, look at the cover, like I'm gonna love this. We have Just Last Night. We have Tools and Engagement by Tessa Bailey, which is the only book in this series that I liked. Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker. This is my favorite books that I've ever read by Tessa Bailey. This little duet by Alexis Daria, which is You Had Me at Ola, and A Lot Like Adios. The Wedding Crasher by Mia Sosa, which like love, 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 love this series, The Worst Best Man. I don't own it, but it's fabulous. We have Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma. Her new book, the second one in this series, comes out in August. I'm so freaking excited. We have First Love Take 2, The Charm Offensive, The Romantic Agenda, and Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail. I have a few more to go through. Too Good to Be Real, Love in Other Words, The Royals Next Door. This is a 2-book like duet series by Rosie Danon. It starts with The Roommate and then The Intimacy Experiment. Love both of these. Lastly, Romance Book Club series, which is 4 books, and then a 5th one I believe is like a Christmas one. It starts with The Romance Book Club and then goes into, I think, I don't remember. I haven't read these yet. Undercover Romance, Isn't It Romantic, and then Crazy Stupid Bromance is the next one. I don't remember the order because I have not read these yet. And those are all my traditionally published contemporary romance books, and also all the adult ones. These are all adult books. Next stack I'm gonna show you is all my YA books. I don't have a ton of them because I kind of grew out of the YA genre. Once I picked up reading again, I realized that YA just like wasn't really, you know, it's just like I want to read more adult books, but I do have some YA that I do love. First and foremost, I think my favorite YA book of all time, Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. Love this book. I heavily annotated it and tabbed it. Such a good book, can't wait to reread. Also have Instructions for Dancing. Haven't read this, but looks really cute. These next 2 books are 2 books from like my youth, my childhood that I read and I reread multiple times. This one being the most reread book I've ever had. ever read. It's A Midsummer's Nightmare by Cody Kiplinger. I have so many memories of just like every summer picking this book back up, and I love the story, and I've been meaning to read it, like reread it as an adult. But yeah, I'm excited. And then also by Cody Kiplinger, Shutout, which is again another book that I absolutely love. This is like what started my love for like sports romance books. We have My Mechanical Romance and When True Loves. Rachel Lynn Solomon is like one of my favorite authors, and she did write one of my favorite YA books, which is Today, Tonight, and Tomorrow. The first book I picked up after 5 years of not reading, so everyone can thank this book for my love for reading now. I also won like a Goodreads giveaway for See You Yesterday. So it's the paperback, like literally art copy, and I was literally so shocked when I got it. But yes, I haven't read it yet, but I have a feeling I will like it. Of course, I couldn't not have these books in my collection. I have Legendborn. I don't have to say much except that this is definitely like the fantasy book that convinced me that I could enjoy fantasy, because I'm not really a fantasy reader, but Legendborn proved me wrong. I love it. It was such an amazing book. I have yet to read Bloodmarked though. It's just very intimidating, and I'm not sure if I'm ready for the emotions that I will feel when I read this, because this already put me through like so much, so I'm just not ready. Those are all my YA books. Okay, next will be all of my historical romance books, and I have a lot. Most all of them are thrifted, because again, you go to half price books, they're literally $3. I go crazy. So yes, they're a lot. 3 Beverly Jenkins books. This is like the Destinies series. So we have Destiny's Captive, Destiny's Surrender, and Destiny's Embrace. I haven't read these yet, but I have a feeling I'm going to really enjoy them, because I do love a good historical romance. One of my favorite historical romance series of all time, this is the Gilded Age Heiress series by Harper St. George. It starts with the heiress gets a duke, and then the devil and the heiress, the lady tempts an heir, and last but not least, the Duchess takes a husband. This entire series is amazing, and I literally want to recommend it to everyone that loves historical romance, but even if you don't, I think you would like it. Books by Suzanne Enoch, I think that's how you say her name. Hero in the Highlands and My One True Highlander. And can we just talk about how much I love a good like historical romance cover? Like, I'm sorry, the reason I buy so many of them at the thrift is because I find them and I'm like, oh, I like that cover, they're so cute, I like want them for my collection. And I know people have like a love-hate relationship and they don't like historical romance covers, but literally I love them so much, so I will happily collect them. We have a good chunk of Lisa Kleypas books. Again, all of these were thrifted. We have Mine Till Midnight, Seduce Me at Sunrise, Tempt Me at Twilight, and I also have Where Dreams Begin and Chasing Cassandra. Can you even see that? The step back is just like gorgeous. I also have Heartbreaker and Bombshell, which I think is in the same series. I have some Tessa Dare books, which I haven't read yet, but I hear that she's like a historical like rom-com writer, so that makes me really excited. This series, which has The Duchess Deal, Governess Game, saying that right, The Wallflower Wager. I also have I Loved a Rogue, Spinster and the Rake, Devil Who Tamed Her, and The Hunter. These are just like some random ones that I just found at the thrift store. I just liked the covers, and if it's an author that I recognize, then I also just pick it up because of that. I have some Joanna Shupe books, and I've read a few Joanna Shupe like novellas. Heard this one, Sold to the Duke, which was part of an anthology, a mouthful, literally filthy, like literally such a filthy book. And we have The Heiress Hunt, The Bride Goes Rogue, The Duke Gets Even, and The Lady Gets Lucky. And I'm sorry, but this one, my favorite historical romance cover of all time. Like, this is gorgeous and I love it. These ones are like the only ones that are not mass market. So we have the League of Extraordinary Women series by Lee Dunmore, Bringing Down the Duke, Rogue of One's Own, Portrait of a Scotsman, and then the 4th book is coming out soon, and I'm excited. And then lastly, this series by India Holton, which is this is the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels and the League of Gentlewomen Witches. I have not read either of these, but I have a feeling they're going to be really fun and I'm going to enjoy them. We have some Christmas books, which I do separate because I just like to pretend that they're a different genre. We have The Christmas Blanket, The Holidays, which is probably my favorite holiday book, and it's very like tabbed up, and also The Mistletoe Motive, The Mistletoe Bet, Christmas Shopaholic, because I love the Shopaholic like series, and A Merry Little Me Cute. Speaking of the Shopaholic series, when I was growing up, I used to thrift these books all the time. These are all my Shopaholic books. I don't have all of them. I actually lost a copy of one of my favorite books, but we'll just go through them anyway. Obviously, Confessions of a Shopaholic, a classic. I love this movie, and it's the movie tie-in cover. First book I ever read from Sophie Kinsella was this like busted ass copy of Shopaholic Takes Manhattan. Saw it at a thrift store when I was like 10 or 11 and loved the cover and read the crap out of it. And this thing is literally so old, but I hold a really special place in my heart. Shopaholic and Sister, Shopaholic Ties the Knot. Because I thrifted these when I was younger, like I didn't read them in order until I got to the point where I caught up with the series and then just read them as they came out. Like an example would be like this book, Shopaholic to the Stars, and then the next one, Shopaholic to the Rescue. I think the last one that came out was Christmas Shopaholic. I don't know if there'll ever be any more, but like Becky Bloomwood is my like comfort character. I have been reading about her since I was literally a child. And some of these covers are like not available. Like I don't think you can get this cover anymore. And like, shut up, like that's so cute. Dragged over my sports romance books, so we'll go through those next. I love the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher. The only one I own is Wrecked, but I plan on getting all of them. Of these covers, specifically like the ones with the model, I just feel like this gives Formula One sports romance. It just has that vibe. The Red Zone Rival series by Candy Steiner. I am missing Hail Mary. I do plan on buying it eventually. Started off with Fair Catch and Blindside. Read these immediately because I love them so much. Definitely love these covers, like one. Then I had signed up for an ARC for Quarterback Sneak. I ended up like getting this gifted to me by the author herself. Craziest part, she signed it. And she, oh my gosh, she put my name on it too. I just noticed that, lol, I'm so dumb. Anyways, I love Candy Steiner. I think she's a great author. This is my favorite book from her. So the fact that I have it signed, it's just, this is a really special copy to me. And so like, holding it near and dear to my heart. Another sports romance series that I really enjoy was this series by Alexa Martin. I really love Intercepted. This is like my favorite book in this series. I love it so much. And then I also have Snapped, which is the last book, and I have not read this yet, but I'll get to it eventually. One of my favorite sports romance authors of all time is Tal Bauer. My like Tal Bauer collection. I am missing a couple books that I do really want from him, but the ones I do have, I have Gravity, which is the like hockey romance book that he wrote, and this like duet, The Jock and the Quarterback. My first books I read from him. Love these ones so much. This one specifically, like, have the Playing for Keeps series by Becca Mack. I actually thrifted these from Tango Books, and so that's why they're not matching, because I found Play With Me, the discreet cover, and I was like, oh, I like that, and it was cheap, so I like decided to get it because it's secondhand. And then I found this one also on Tango Books, Consider Me. I was like, cool, love that. I think it's kind of cool that they don't match, and then I'm gonna get the next book in the series, I'll get them as like the model cover, so it like alternates. But yeah, I kind of like that it doesn't match. We have Enemies. I have my original indie published version of Icebreaker. I really like this book. And like, look at the cover, and the fact that this one has the pink spine, shut up, I love it so much. The Failing Hours. This book is like the embodiment of Haley and Nathan from One Tree Hill. That's the vibe that this kind of gives off a little bit, except instead of a basketball player, he's a wrestler, and he's also an asshole. I also own the Hoops series by Kennedy Ryan in the OG model covers, because I heard that they were going away and I had to snag them as fast as I can because I refuse not to have these. We have Long Shot, Block Shot, and Hook Shot. Something that I didn't notice when I bought these was that on the back, you can literally see like in the photo, it's the FMC. This is the Casanova Playbook series. It's a special edition from Last Chapter Bookshop. It's literally 3 books in one. It's my thickest book. Like, do you see how big this is? Yeah, I'm gonna probably read it from this one, or maybe just read them on Kindle Unlimited, because I don't know if I can hold this like 800-page book. Okay, another favorite genre is like monster, alien, fantasy books. I have Fourth Wing, obviously, the sprayed edge version. I haven't read it yet, but I have a feeling I will really like it. My tiniest book, which is Riding the Headless Horseman. It's literally 45 pages. It's so small, but I love it. I reread this for Halloween because it's like the perfect Halloween novella. We have Sweet Vengeance, which I have not read yet, but again, I already know I'm going to love it. Look at this cover, like look at it. A book I read in, I think, May, Sing Me to Sleep, Sleep Paralysis Demon. It would be no surprise that of course I own the Ice Planet Barbarians series. I have all of these special edition like paperback versions. So we have, of course, Ice Planet Barbarians. My personal favorite, Barbarian Alien. I love these two so much. I reread this all the freaking time. I get like character art or whatever and I put them in the book. So I don't know if this will get my video taken down, but I don't know. I don't know how YouTube works, but anyways, some fan art I got, and then this one as well. And then we also have Barbarian Lover, Barbarian Mine, and then Barbarian's Prize. Barbarian's Prize is my second favorite Ice Planet book. I just literally love this so much. And then lastly, this is A Deal with a Demon series by Katie Robert. Probably some of my favorite Katie Robert books ever. And these ones are actually ones that I got from her Etsy shop because they're like foiled. Starting off, we have The Dragon's Bride, obviously, and then The Kraken's Sacrifice. And again, like, these covers are my favorite. Like, I love these covers. The Demon's Bargain, which is I think my favorite one in this series. I love these two, and it's also the shortest one, which is A Crime. One I haven't read yet, but I'm really excited to get to is The Gargoyle's Captive. I think it's time to go through my favorite stack, which is dark romance. Dark romance isn't for everybody, but it certainly is for me. We're gonna start off strong. This is The Salacious Players Club by Sarah Kate. I have all the original model covers. I had to have these. These are my favorite versions of these covers. So we have Praise, Eyes on Me, which is my favorite one in the series by far. Give Me More, Mercy, Highest Bidder. Everyone says that like, oh, we didn't know Salacious Players Club was like dark romance. It kind of isn't. It's more like erotic romance, but I group them together just because like that's the vibe. They just like fit together. And have the original like model covers of the entire Priest series. I buy these all secondhand because they are no longer in print. We have Priest, Midnight Mass Novella, Sinner, and Saint. Here are some that I haven't read yet. This is The Devil of Dublin and Sweet Mercy. Welcome to my entire personality. My prized possessions, I love these books so much, and I actually bought them secondhand because somebody was selling them, both of them. This is The Losers Duet. And we have Losers Part 1 and then Losers Part 2. We're gonna come to find out that this is my favorite books ever. I have some Lauren Lynn Page books, First Touch, and then this series, Dirty Filthy Rich Men, and then naturally Dirty Filthy Rich Love, and then Kincaid. Which, you know, we should have kept going with the Dirty Filthy Rich, you know, theme here, but that's okay. These two books are a like collaboration book box thing with Dark and Disturbed and The Last Chapter, and you'll never believe where I found these. Found these at Half Price Books for $8 each. I was freaking out. I was like, there's no way that these books, these special edition books, are $8. This is The Pageant Duet. This is like 2 books in one. Content warning on this book. Woo! I made my sister read it because I was like, dude, check this out. And her face, like, she was horrified. And I was laughing my ass off. And then of course, Diver's Heart. I actually really love this cover. I think it's sick. Like, do you see like the heart formation in the rocks and then the giant shark? I'm excited to read this one just because the cover is so sick. So starting off my collection of the Fallen Men series books, I intend to get every single version. I really want the like hardcover books and the paperbacks, and I found this one on Pango Books and I had some like credits, so I decided to get it. It's the Hello Lovely version of Welcome to the Dark Side. It's signed! Like, it is my Anna Huang books. She's one of my favorite authors literally ever, and I have a lot of different versions of her books, so let's get into them. Start off with, this is the Kings of Sin series. This is the indie versions. I do want to get the like UK version because 1, they're foiled, which is sick. 2, I won't be able to ever get the rest of the series matching with these ones because these are the only 2 that will be indie published. So I am probably going to get rid of these versions and get the like UK versions that are foiled because I would just rather have them all match. And the fact that they're foiled is really freaking cool. We have King of Wrath and King of Pride. These are the indie published versions of Twisted series, and I don't have Twisted Love because I hate to say it, I didn't like that book and I don't want to own it. I do have Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, Twisted Lies. And then I also have the model cover of Twisted Hate, which is my annotated copy, so I'm gonna annotate this one, but like, it's also my favorite non-discrete version of the Twisted series books. I have the cover to cover special edition book of Twisted Lies, which, funny story, when Cover to Cover was doing their pre-sale, they announced that it was gonna be Anna Huang, but they did not tell us what book. And I was like, I have a feeling it's gonna be Twisted Love, and I don't like that book, so I'm just not gonna pre-order it. Finding out that it's this book, and it looks like this, I was so devastated. I was like, damn it, I should have pre-ordered it. Like, what was I thinking? They did a like overstock sale and I snagged this one. And it's hardcover. I love this book. It is like one of my favorite editions that I've ever owned of any book. I also have the Last Chapter Bookshop version of Twisted Hate. We have The Predator by Runix. If you've read the Darkverse series, you know, it's like one of my favorite series ever. And I found these on Pango Books. This is Ace DeLuca and Aria DeLuca. Last, and certainly not least, my last stack. It's my biggest one. This is my indie published contemporary romance stack. There's just a lot, okay? Go through, this is the like Campus Tales series by QB Tyler. This one is second semester and first semester. We have this series. This is Sweet Hand and Don't Go Baking My Heart. I love these books so much, and like these covers are to die for. I have Starting Back, 2 of Olivia Dade's like indie published books. This one is Teach Me and 40 Love. These ones are in the same series. I think there's a 3rd book in the series, but I don't own it. They're at Avery Maxwell book. We have Your Last First Kiss, Sweet Memory, and Rival Radio. These are my Mimi Grace books. Mimi Grace is one of my favorite authors literally ever. Her books are short, sweet, spicy, like the perfect book. The first one I ever read from her was Along for the Ride. Then we have Make a Scene, What a Match, Take a Hike. They're all in the same series, and again, I love these books so much. Absolutely go read Mimi Grace if you've never read from her. Like, these books, my favorites. I have the Dreamland Billionaire series. These are all the indie published versions. We have The Fine Print, Terms and Conditions, and then Final Offer. I did have to buy this from the UK book web, like the UK Amazon site, because I wanted this cover and it was very expensive. So yeah, if you want this cover, you can certainly get it. It'll just be like $40. We have some Lily Gold books. I really like her books. The only one I've read is Faking with Benefits, but it's obviously going to be a book that I like love so much. It was so much fun. Excited to read the next 2. So we have 3 Swedish Mountain Men and then Triple Duty Bodyguards. This doesn't mean anything, and I have character art. Yeah, it's just really cute. We have some Saffron A. Kent books. We have Gods and Monsters, which I got from the thrift store. Super exciting, like 8 books. And then my special edition copy of My Darling Arrow. This is like one of my favorite books of the year. I also have Water Under the Bridge. I have this series by Kennedy Ryan in the original like indie published versions. The Kingmaker, The Rebel King. My favorite Kennedy Ryan book literally ever, Queen Move. This book, speechless, like go read it. Go read this book immediately. I love this book so much, and I would do anything for Ezra and Kimba. Like, these characters, protect them. Blue Bonnet Days. I have this series by Stephanie Archer, and I bought these because one, they were each $10 on Amazon at one point, and also like the spines, gorgeous, and the covers. So let's go through them all. We have That Kind of Guy. My personal favorite cover out of all of them is The Wrong Mr. Right, In Your Dreams, Holden Rhodes. When she changed these covers and I saw them on Instagram, I was like, need. I heard really, really awesome things about this series, so I'm really excited to read it because I haven't done it yet. Shh, don't tell anybody. One of my favorite romance books of all time, The Last Encore. This one, amazing, so good. And again, very much annotated, like a lot. Not only is it annotated, but I also have the character art that I got because I won this book in a giveaway. I also have this series. This one is Paint Me Perfect and then Rewrite the Rules. Right Here, Don't Care. I bought this because the cover was done by my favorite illustrator, and also because it was $2 on Pango Books. So like, I had to get it. We have Ignite by Melanie Harlow. These 2 Candy Steiner books. This book I got because she said that it's her favorite book she's ever written, which to me that says a lot, so I decided to get it. I also bought this book, Greek. I bought these on her website because they were scratch and dent, like damaged books, and by the way, I couldn't find a single scratch or a single dent, so I got these for really cheap. I really want to read this series, the Palm South University series, and I haven't done it yet, but yeah, I just really like the covers. I think they're kind of like fun and they give off the vibes. I have Rivals. I have the like indie published version of In the Weeds, Do Again by Lauren Lane. I love Lauren Lane. This is the only book I own by her, but I've read a lot of her books and they're great. This is The Worst Wedding Date. Just cute little pink cover. I have the Chestnut Spring series in the like model covers. We have Flawless, Heartless, Powerless, Reckless. I bought these 3 on Pango Books, all on separate occasions. I just found them.
I found some web results. I can show them if you ask again from your iPhone.
Ma'am, I didn't ask for web results. That scared the fuck out of me. I have this series by Jodi Ellen Malpaz, Controversial Princess and His True Queen. If you can't tell, this is the Addicted and Calloway Sisters series. I like the first one, and I was like, I'll read it and then I'll like buy them as I go. I found out that they were getting picked up by a publisher. They got picked up by Berkeley, which means the covers were changing, and I had already owned this one, so I was like, I need to have all the ones that match. And I ended up not being able to find this one for the longest time. Like, I could not find it, and then I asked, you know, my friends on Instagram. I was like, do you guys have this cover? Would you be willing to sell it to me, because I really want my copies to match? And I ended up getting this from my friend Mieko. She was like gracious enough to let me like buy them from her, and then she sent them to me, and then I was able to get like the rest of the series just like on Amazon and Book Depository. Bad reputation, but I bought this one on Pango Books because someone was like selling it, and I just love the cover. And the only book that doesn't match, because I couldn't find it in the, you know, indie published version was the last one, Some Kind of Perfect. I think this is the Australian. Yes, it's the Australian traditionally published version. I don't know. It doesn't match. We like compare, like they're not gonna match. Okay, that's literally my entire book collection. And now I get to have the honor of putting them all on my bookshelf. Wish me luck. I also just want to say thank you so much for like watching this video. If you've made it to the end, I literally love you so much. This is my first YouTube video and I'm very like nervous about it, but I just want to have fun, and I think this is going to be a really fun journey for me to be on booktube and just kind of like see how it goes. So thank you for, you know, being here and joining me on this journey. And yeah, you can also find me not only on YouTube, but on Instagram and TikTok if you want to see me for less time at a time, which I like totally get. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.